What is going on, mortals? Mortal T here on some Black Ops 4, so I can give you some more tips and tricks about getting headshots with certain types of weapons. Now, I've already covered all the assault rifles. If you haven't seen that video, you should go and check it out. I've got all my assault rifles diamond now, every single one of them, and you can see all challenges complete. So I thought after the assault rifle, most people do go and do like the most common weapons like SMGs right here. I've already started on the SMGs, and they go for the more particular types of guns, which are pretty easy to get. So then you've obviously got the LMGs, not too bad. Pretty easy to get headshots with, but I thought, you know what, I wanted to try and do the most difficult weapons first to get them out the way. So, the most difficult weapons, as you can tell by the title of this video, is, it's one of the most difficult type, just one of them, is handguns. Handguns can and are pretty hard to get headshots with. But I'm going to be telling you the easiest ways, the weapon attachments, perks, specialists, game modes, and everything, just like I did in the last video. So let's get right to it. So, first handgun. This handgun, I actually really like this handgun. This handgun is amazing, especially if you play it in the game mode I use it with. So, I've actually completed all the challenges and managed to get it gold. Really cool, right? So, I will say that this is probably the easiest handgun to get headshots with. And what did I use? Optic straight off the bat. Red dot aiming at the head. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So what attachments do we really want? Well, it doesn't really make a lot of difference, but the attachments that I use is a silencer. Just so you're not detected on the minimap and people are less likely to hear you firing. Really cool. The next one is quick draw. You need to be able to bring this weapon up as quickly as you possibly can, especially if you're running straight into enemy fire. You want to get this weapon out quickly and just boom and tap them and just get the kill, even if it's not a headshot. So let's take that off. The next one, that you don't have to do this, is I would go for the long barrel, because the silencer does get rid of some of the range that this pistol has. So the long barrel will help you, but you don't necessarily have to have it. The two main attachments I would recommend is the suppressor and the quick draw attachments. So if you're not going to use the if you are going to use a long barrel, these are the three that I would go for. Ghost instead of Dead Silence, or if you prefer, you can transfer over to Dead Silence, but I use Ghost just so you don't get detected by enemy UAVs and stuff. Now, Gung Ho is also another good weapon because it means you can recover from your sprinting, faster reloading, and just whatever. But you can use this one. That's entirely up to you. Them two perks I would recommend. Engineer, I've always run Engineer just so you don't get killed by enemy equipment and you can see all the score streaks and everything that are in the skies. Very handy to avoiding them, really easy peasy. So if you're not going to use the long barrel attachment, I'll also go for put an extra perk on the last one, perk 3, and use Ghost and Dead Silence. Really nice. Or if you're really like run and gun type of guy, you want to get straight into the action and you want to know where your enemies are, use the tracker. It'll give you footsteps of where like the nearest enemy was to you, and you can go and follow them and try and get an easy headshot if you do so. So that is the first weapon covered. Let's move on to the next pistol. This one. Now this is a free burst pistol, and I will say it is harder to get headshots with this pistol than it was the previous one. But yet again, I have got all the challenges done for this and I've managed to turn it gold. So optic, it doesn't really matter, but I always prefer a red dot sight. Attachments, rapid fire is kind of a good one, but you don't necessarily need to use it. But if you feel like it's lagging, well, not lagging a bit, that the gunfire rate is not good enough, you can always add rapid fire. But main perks, yet again, silencer, just so people don't really hear where you're shooting from, so they can't really locate you that quickly. Grip, another one. Accuracy is key in this game to try and get in a headshot, so grip is definitely an important one. But apart from that, I didn't really use any other attachments. I did swap out rapid fire every now and again just to see what it was like. But the main two attachments are the grip and the suppressor, just the ones I really like. And yet again, the same kind of perks. If you're not using the rapid fire one, I would recommend either Dead Silence or Tracker as a secondary third perk. Okay? That is my recommendation. Now, on to the final pistol, which I don't particularly like this pistol, and I haven't managed to do all the challenges quite yet. But as you can see, I've got quite a decent amount of headshots here. I've got 48 with it so far, and I'm still doing this one. So this pistol is a lot different from the other types of pistols. This is meant to be like a one-shot kill pistol. As you can see from the damage output, it's meant to be kind of a one-shot pistol. It's meant to be like a sniper pistol. That's what it basically is. Now this is hard. I found this hard to try and get decent headshots with it because it is a revolver. It holds, I can't actually remember how many bullets it holds. I'm pretty sure it's like 6 in the magazine. So what best are the attachments? So first, the optic. Now I know this optic looks just really bad and stupid and silly to put on a handgun, but this will help you dramatically. It really well, because it does have a zoom in feature. Like I said, this handgun is more like a sniper. So this zoom-in feature does help. So equipped the scope for it. Now attachments. Really difficult to do, but quick draw, get this weapon up, because even though it is kind of like a sniper rifle, you can actually fire the bullets pretty darn fast. Like boom, 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 boom. As long as you keep pressing that trigger. You have to keep trigger. So next one is speed reloader, just so you can reload this gun as quickly as you possibly can, because that is important. Next one, I did have an extra attachment on here just because of the stabilizer. Now this will reduce sway while you're aiming down sight, just like it will do with a sniper rifle. Because otherwise, if you don't have this, if you're aiming down the sight trying to get a headshot, you will notice a decent amount of sway in this pistol. Even though it is a pistol, you're holding it close to you, so there can't really be any major sway. But there is. That's how they did it. So these are the 3 attachment and optic that I use to get this gun going. Actually, this is, see, that's the class I've just done, and this is the class I have made. On this one, for some reason, I'm using the long barrel, but you don't have to do it. I would recommend the quick draw. You want to get this weapon out as quickly as you possibly can. But like I said, it's still pretty darn hard to get headshots with this gun, just because of how they've made it like a sniper rifle. So sniper rifles usually used from a distance, so you can get that perfect precision shot. Now in Call of Duty, that doesn't always work out that way. People with sniper rifles are running around the map and just bring it up really quick and manage to get a kill on you pretty darn easy. Kind of stupid, and it's pointless of a sniper rifle. But this is what this gun is like. You're gonna have to stay back a tiny bit just so you can line up that headshot, just to get it with the scope, okay? Just to let you know. Right, moving on to the specialists. Which specialist did I use? Well, I always go with Recon, just because he's got the sensor dart, and then he's got the vision pulse, so you know where your enemies are going to be and where they are. Fantastic. But you don't necessarily have to use this specialist. Prophet is also a good one, just because of its seeker drone. You put your seeker drone down, it will go and find an enemy, and then it will stun it, which will give you time to line up your headshot and get it. Pretty darn simple. But if you're going with the sniper kind of route, where you're going to stay in like one general location, but you don't want to get teamed up on from behind or in front of you or something, I would recommend this guy, just because he's got the barricade and the razor wire, which you can basically cut off a piece of the map for yourself, so no one can come from behind or in front of you and try and kill you, while you try and line up those headshots that you so desperately need to get on this gun. So, game modes. What game modes do I recommend? The game modes that I play is always hardcore to try and get headshots. Now, I really like the objective game points because you know where the enemies are going to go. So, hardcore domination is a really good one because you know they're gonna go towards those points, and you can, as long as you've played domination for a while, you roughly know where the spawn points are going to be. So you can line up on those spawn points and try and get the headshots really easy. But also, hardcore control is also a really good one as well, because there are certain points on the map where you have to go and stay in that place for a long for a reasonable amount of time, so you know the enemies are going to go there. Also, a game mode that I would recommend. These are the two game modes. I wouldn't recommend free for all, team match, or kill confirm, because they're not objective based. You don't really know where your enemies are going to go. That's why objective game modes, I think, are the best. Don't go on search and destroy, because there's only so many kills you can actually get on search and destroy. So hardcore domination, hardcore control, the best game modes, in my opinion, to get all these headshots. And believe me, that is why I have already completed 2 of the pistols, and I'm working on the 3rd. I've already got all my assault rifles. I'm working on the SMGs as well. I've already got one of them gold. The first one I've already got gold. This one I'm still working on the headshots. And also I'm working on the LMGs as well. As you can see, I just need a couple more challenges to finish this guy off. But I'm working on multiple weapons all at the same time. But I wanted to bring you this video, Mortals, just so you know how to get these easy headshots with these pistols, the best class setup, the best specialists you can use, and the best game modes to do it in. So anyway, Mortals, I hope this helps you out. I hope you go and slay people with all these pistols, because people get really annoyed when you start killing them with pistols. It's hilarious. But anyway, Mortals, I hope this helped, and I'll hopefully see you, Mortals, in the next video.